Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take off this GRX crank and swap it for this XT crank. So first thing you want to do is, because I can't remember if I did it for this, is actually apply some thread locker to the chainring bolts and then make sure they are torqued up properly. Oops. Definitely not torqued up. Torqued up. Nope, definitely no Loctite or thread locker. I think I just put this chainring on because I was eager to see what it kind of looked like. Because actually, when I bought this, the only one I could find for the XT 11 speed was a 2x. So I had to buy the crank as a 2x, and then I bought the chainring afterwards. Okay, so we got all the chainring bolts off. I'm just gonna put this down. I think I'm also gonna just okay. So I like to stick it on one with my screwdriver and then apply a little bit. There it is. Don't do too much. Once you got one, come back around. So when you are putting your chainring back on, there's usually an indicator to say which side should be towards the crank arm. So I believe it is that side. I mean, some of them only go on one way. Okay, so then once you have them all with some thread locker on it, I just like to bring them to snug. Don't want to go too tight. Okay. So now that they're all on there, we are now going to torque them up. Torque those bolts. So Shimano has all their torque specs online. And so for these XT cranks, and I think for a lot of them, these chainring bolts, I think a lot of them it's 12 to 14 Newton meters. So get your torque wrench. Set it to, for these, I am okay over torquing them. Honestly, I never actually torque chainring bolts. I just go as tight as I can because I don't imagine over tighten these, but you never know. Okay. And I'm not going to go all the way yet until it clicks, just bring them a bit more snug, alternate. I don't think it matters too much to alternate, but I don't know, it's just a habit I like to do. So, okay, so they're all kind of there. There we go. So those are all now to 14. So now that we got that all set up, and that is good to go on the bike, we will move back to the bike and start removing things off that. So first thing I'd recommend doing when you're removing your crank is to actually remove the pedals, because it's easier to do on the bike than off the bike. So next we're gonna take off this little, I don't know what it's called, a mounting screw, a mounting cap, bearing preload. It shouldn't, maybe that's a better angle anyways. Oh, I don't think I've had one that tight before. I don't know why that's on there so tight. Oh my god. Okay. Ew. 4. There we go. Oops. Just need some more leverage. Oops. Knocking the camera every time. Okay. There. Wow. I've never had that one. Never had that cap so tight before. That's should not be that tight. Okay, and then we gotta loosen these crank arm bolts. Oops. So another thing, I think you're supposed to alternate with these. Just so it doesn't put, I think it's something about like putting stress on one bolt versus another or something like that. Okay, that one's good. Okay, you don't have to loosen these all the way, just enough. And I forgot to mention, but there's also a little hook in here. So if you have this tool, it has a little thing on there that you just put in, and then you pull it up. All right, and then before I take the crank arms off, I'm going to just take this chain off. So we'll just drop that back. If you have a clutch on the rear derailleur, make sure it's off. And then I'm just going to pull the rear derailleur forward a bit to slacken the chain, and then pull it off. I will need to probably shorten that chain, going from a 36 tooth to a 30 tooth, but for now I'm just going to leave it as is. And then this should just pop off. There's the non-drive side. And then there's the drive side. Nice. All right. And then next steps are, since I'm going from a road or gravel crank to a mountain bike one, and I have a White Industries bottom bracket on, I need to add some spacers in here. So the White Industries I think is similar to a road for width. So this is a 68 millimeter. bottom bracket on the frame, and then the cups add that additional length. I think with White Industries, I need to add a 1.5 millimeter spacer on the non-drive side and 4 millimeter spacers on the drive side. If you have a Shimano threaded bottom bracket, I think you add, what is it, 2.5 millimeters on the 9 drive side and 5 on the drive side. Yeah, so you could just, yeah. So I was always told, I don't know how true it is, but I was always told you shouldn't use your torque wrench to loosen, only tighten. My dad always told me. There we go. There's the drive side. So bottom brackets, from my experience, they always tighten towards the rear of the bike, and then they loosen towards the front of the bike. There we go. Ow. That's enough. Okay. So annoyingly with White Industries is they don't actually mark which cap is drive side and which one is non-drive side. You kind of just got to try to thread it on gently, and then you find out. So this is my non-drive side one. So I'm going to do, just so I can remember, is put it next to the non-drive side. And I'll put that one there on the drive side. Alright, so back over to the bottom bracket. We are going to give this a quick clean out, and then we will re-grease it. I don't know, it doesn't look too bad, so I'm not too worried about doing a thorough. That's pretty good. Okay. It's cold in here. I need to get this place insulated. Coffee break. So I'm gonna give my I'm just gonna give these a light clean. They're pretty gross. It's not terrible, but why not? I'm in there, you know. Might as well just kind of give it a little bit of a wipe down. Excuse me. I don't want to remove grease. Just want to, well, remove excess grease, but remove the dirt that's kind of built up over time. Alright, that's not too bad. So these White Industries bottom brackets, they have a little dust cap that goes on the end. And it does a good job because it's quite gross. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, a dust cap or not, but yeah. Okay. Let me put that back on. So that just slides in. There we go. Okay. So spacers. So if you have a press fit bottom bracket, you need different spacers, and I learned this lesson the hard way because I bought the wrong spacers. So these are ones that actually go on the spindle. I believe they go on, so here. Whereas if you have a threaded bottom bracket, you actually want the spacers to go on the cups. So into here. Oops. Let's see if I can. There, you want them on there. So this is the drive side. So I want 4. So they just sit in there. The non-drive side. Oops. I'm going to take another coffee break. It is cold in here. I just realized I gotta look up the torque for the White Industries bottom bracket. Okay, I'm back. So it's 35 to 50. So I'll do 45. Okay, so I'll just do them by hand at first. So as I mentioned, towards the back of the bike, snug. Oh, I totally forgot grease. Something else I really need. I see so many people use like a brush and they don't get grease all over their fingers. And then here's me just slopping it in there. Let's do both sides now. Okay. All right, let's get the drive side. Thread that on hand tight. Non-drive side. Thread that on hand tight. This is actually the first time I've used this one. I've always just done, I've never actually torqued my bottom brackets, to be honest. I've always just kind of done the hand tight. And there we go. I feel like that could have gone more. Let's just up it to 50, shall we? Didn't really make much of a difference. Drive side. There we go. Just give it a little wipe for any grease that may have come out. All right, now we're going to take our crank and we're going to apply a little bit of grease to the spindle. I never know how much to put on here. I feel like I always put too much on. In this case, too little, apparently. So there. So grease all around, and then I did a little bit in there. And we'll just slide it on in. Oops. Our trusty mallet. Good thing to do. Brand new crank. How's that? Seems good. And then we'll take the non-drive side and line that up so it's opposite of the drive. There we go. And then we will get our compression cap, whatever it's called. You want to do this first before tightening the crank arm bolts. You want to put the compression cap in, and I think it like preloads the bearings or something. I'm not 100% sure. So we'll do that. We'll just, it's 1 to 2, or what is it? It's 0.7 to 1.5 Newton meters tight, so it's not tight at all. I just go till there's a bit of resistance. I don't know why that other one was so tight on there. The one I was taking off before. And then we want to tighten torque the crank arm bolts. So these are 12 to 14 Newton meters again. I don't even know if that's how you say it. Newton meters? I don't know. Whatever it is. So just go till snug, and you want to alternate again. Ooh. There we go. Do a twist, rotate, twist, rotate. Just keep alternating until you get more resistance. Oh no, well, that's a good way to strip a bolt. There we go, that's torqued. I don't know why I'm using such a long... There we go, that's torqued. I really shouldn't have used such a long socket. Or whatever, I can't think. There we go. So let's put the chain back on. I mean, we're gonna have to take it apart, but we'll put it back on for now. Do that. Let's just see. I assume it's going to be off a little bit. Yeah. There we go. Go back down. Up. And there we go, through it all. Oh, a little slow to come down there. That might just be a knock-on of using that XT cage on my rear derailleur. All right, so I think the next thing I need to do is shorten the chain length. So I know these quick links, I think they're only supposed to be like a one-time use. I think I actually only learned that maybe a month ago. Yeah, I've definitely not been following that rule. I've never had them fail on me, so maybe I've been lucky. I don't know, maybe it's just a matter of time. Okay, so I want to remove the chain from the rear derailleur. I'm going to go put it on the big. And then we're going to pull this back. And let's see, make sure it's lined up. So Park Tool has a video on this. I never, to be honest, quite understood it because they say SRAM specifically. But I don't know why it wouldn't apply to Shimano as well. So you gotta do outer plate to outer plate. Right, so if I'm doing that, oh wait, so it's gonna be like that. I gotta go big tooth. So it's gonna be outer plate to outer plate. So you're supposed to do, I think, 2 rivets. So 1, 2, if it's a 2x, or it's a 1x, you gotta do 4. That's how I've been doing it, at least. I could be wrong. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But I gotta do outer to outer. So I'm gonna do, wait, 1, 2. I don't know. Let me know if I did this wrong. Maybe I'm supposed to do more or less. I don't know. Post in the comments. Let me know. This is how you learn. Been doing it by myself now for a while, and it's just an echo chamber. All right. So we're gonna run it through the rear derailleur again. Going to, actually, I should have done this first. Bring it down. I'll just take that off. That. Now we can put this on. And then click that back together. So the last thing is we're going to put the pedals back on. So for now I'm just doing it with a bit, not tighten it all the way. These, I actually don't like to do pedals too tight because I've never had an issue with them coming off. So I just kind of go till they're snug. So I don't use a torque wrench with them. Socket wrench. Oops. There we go. And again, just go till it's snug. One less coffee break. And just appreciate the work you just did. Looks pretty cool. almost forgot. Gotta add a sticker to the bench. Dismount Bike Shop. So this is a bike shop in Canada that does a lot of bike packing supply. Or they sell a lot of bike packing supplies, hiking, kind of, I guess, more of a sport, I think. Oh, they're in Ontario. So yeah, that is how you change a crankset from a gravel or road, I believe they're the same, to a mountain bike one. Just make sure you have the proper spacers for the bottom bracket, depending whether it's threaded or press fit. Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. You can also check out my bike showcase video, part 1, where I talk about the background for this bike. Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.